Morning, men. Wanted to come to you this morning from out on the patio. Been inside all this week so far. Just so you can see the beautiful setting that I have here this week. And first in Galatians 5:22 and 23 about the fruit of the Spirit. And I'll read that, but then I want to jump back to verse 17 as well. But we'll start off. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self control. Against such things there is no law. Yesterday we covered identity. Today is the spiritual battle insight, is what I'm calling it. Yesterday we talked about 24, which was, and those who belong to Christ Jesus have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires, about identity. Today I want to jump back to verse 17, where it says, for the desires of the flesh are against the spirit, and the desires of the spirit are against the flesh. For these are opposed to each other to keep you from doing the things that you want to do. So this verse is unambiguous. It's not a metaphor. This is the daily battlefield that every one of us wakes up on. And the flesh and the spirit are in a constant cold war inside each one of us. And every choice that we make is a battle. And the enemy's strategy is brilliant in its simplicity because they just want to rebrand the flesh as freedom. We call lust authenticity. We call pride self-respect. Self-indulgence is now self-care. We call anger now a passion for justice. Division is called standing for truth now. And he's made the works of the flesh, the enemy, sound like virtues and made the fruit of the spirit sound weak. Whereas gentleness sounds like passivity now. Patience sounds like spinelessness. Self-control sounds like repression. And this is all deception. And gentleness is controlled power, right? It's a meekness, the ability to handle something fragile without breaking it because you're strong enough to be careful with it. Self control is the discipline that makes every fruit possible, every other piece of fruit possible. And a man with no self control is a man who can be controlled by really anything. And the enemy knows that. And so the Dokimos warrior fights not by trying harder, but rather by walking in the Spirit, as Galatians 5:16 says. It says, but I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. And so we starve what we don't need. And I think of the story, the parable of the two wolves. And it says, an old Cherokee is teaching his grandson about life. A fight is going on inside me, he said to the boy. And we probably all heard this at some point in our lives and in some rendition of it, a little bit different here and there. But the father, the old Cherokee, tells his grandson, it is a terrible fight, and it's between two wolves. One is evil. He's angry. He's envy. He has sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. And he continued, but the other wolf is good. He has joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The same fight is going on inside of you, he tells his grandson, and inside every other person too. The grandson thinks about it for a minute and then says, or then asks, which wolf will win? And the old Cherokee simply replied, the one that you feed. So, men, the general question today is, what fleshly desire is the enemy currently rebranding as a virtue in your life? So which wolf is winning? Which one are you feeding? Take that, men, go into your day to day with that, armed with that. Really just, again, ask the Lord, be honest, open up your heart and have Him really kind of peel back the layers of your heart to understand exactly what it is that you're wrestling with and what that fleshly desire is that you need to purge, kind of branding your behavior. So, remember, walk in the fruits of the Spirit: love, peace, joy, gentleness, faithfulness, kindness, goodness, right? Self control. And so, which one of those pieces of fruit are you going to bear today? Can you bear all of them? Right? Because we know that it's the character of God. So it's one piece of fruit, but made up of 9 different parts that Paul talks about here in Galatians. With that, men, continue to stay strong, stand firm in the faith, and act like men, and be fruitful.